Hi guys, Richard Madeley of Good Morning Britain is an interesting journalist, reporter, commentator, I don't know what you'd call him. Anyway, he tried to grill the leader of Sinn Féin, Mary Lou-McDonald, on the concept of a united Ireland. But he sort of made her arguments for her. Have a listen.
Why do you want Northern Ireland still so badly? Because economically, I think it's fair to say it's close to being a basket case at the moment.
No, you're not supposed to say that. Unionists would be tearing their hair out if they heard you say that, Richard. You're supposed to say that Northern Ireland is an integral part of the United Kingdom. It's fundamentally important to the UK as a whole. It's a really important aspect of the economy. That's what you're supposed to be saying. You're not supposed to be making Mary Lou-McDonald's arguments for her.
This country pays in a huge amount in terms of subsidies to Ulster, far more than we get back. I mean, it actually, if you like, it's running at a loss. Why are you keep talking about economics?
Yeah.
Why are you so keen
because
to absorb a country, as it were, like that?
Well, it's not a country.
No, but
it's part of
you know
the
what I'm
region.
saying.
But
Yeah,
however, let's not quibble over that. You see, I think the core of that question is, why is the 6 counties, why is the North consistently in economic difficulties? And the answer to that question, Richard, is because it is not economically viable as a territory. It's 6 counties of the historic 9-county province of Ulster. It's cut off from its natural political, social and economic hinterland. Remember this, since the peace agreement was signed in 1998, the value of the All-Ireland economy has multiplied 6-fold. The natural economic activity for a small island like Ireland is the entire island. It makes no sense to partition.
And she's completely correct. You know, if Northern Ireland was, in theory, part of the rest of the United Kingdom by connected with a land border as opposed to a sea border, it would be in a much better state. You know, how many people have been complaining about having goods not being sent to Northern Ireland? And this is nothing to do with Brexit. This is even long before Brexit. Businesses in Great Britain refused to send goods to Northern Ireland because of the extra cost. They'll send them to Scotland. If they're in England and they'll send them to Scotland, they'll send them to Wales, but they refuse to send them to Northern Ireland because it has to cross the sea. And that's an extra cost that many businesses are not willing to bear. So before we even talk about Brexit, Northern Ireland is in a worse position connected in respect to the rest of the United Kingdom. Now, I've mentioned before how politicians, political parties, want nothing really to do with Northern Ireland because there's no benefit for them. At least when it comes to Scotland and Wales, both the Conservatives and Labour have MPs. The Conservatives fewer and fewer in Scotland, but at least they have MPs in those. I think also Wales. They've also, but according to history, they have had MPs in both Wales and Scotland. But when it comes to Northern Ireland, they don't have any MPs there. There's no political benefit for them in maintaining Northern Ireland. They have to do it because they have to maintain the union. They have to be seen to maintain the union. Now, if Nigel Farage's Reform get into power, they're not going to have any MPs in Northern Ireland either. So Nigel Farage isn't going to suddenly care about Northern Ireland. He never really did, but he's not going to care about Northern Ireland if he becomes Prime Minister. Nobody really does because there's no benefit to the rest of the UK in having Northern Ireland. And as Mary Lou-McDonald, whether you agree with her or not on any issue, she's completely correct here. You know, you trade mainly with your neighbours, and at the moment, the 6 counties in Northern Ireland, the 6 counties of Ulster, trade mainly with other parts of Ulster and other parts of the Republic. So this is going to be maintained. The arguments being put forward to maintain the union are more about, well, if we leave, it's going to be a disaster. And it's not like Brexit. Yes, I think the political problems are stronger than the economic ones. It's going to be difficult to merge the mentalities. It's going to be difficult to bring unionists on board. Unionism will disappear in a united Ireland. Those politicians will have to find new jobs, but the unionist people, how are they going to approach this? And that's why it's so important that unionists get on board now to be part of the discussion. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.